Hey guys, so as you may know, I've been interested in dream stuff forever. Honestly, I've been interested in like dreaming and what dreams mean since I was a little kid. As far back as I can remember my memories, I'd always be asking everyone in my family what they dreamed about, and I was be wanting to interpret the meaning of my dreams and all that fun stuff. And as I got older and got into like my freshie year of high school, I learned the term lucid dreaming, and my life like changed totally after that. And I've been super into that for, well, now since my freshman year of high school, and I'm now a sophomore, so about the last 5 years. And even more recently, I started learning more about astral projection and what that is. And at first that shit kind of really scared me. It's a little, but it's really interesting. And both lucid dreaming and astral projection are out-of-body experiences. And I just find them so, like, fucking awesome and interesting because it just goes to show that you really aren't as bound to your physical body as you may think you are. And it's cool. It's really cool. So, lucid dreaming I've been doing for about 5 years, and I've had interested in astral projection really just over the last few months, ever since I kind of had my accidental, unintentional leaving my body experience over the summer. It's been kind of interesting, and I haven't really tried much to astral project by myself. I have tried, but they were kind of half-assed attempts, so you can't fully count it as me trying to, but it happened. Anyways, I was thinking about this, and I was trying to the other day, and it's really been on my mind this morning, which is why I had to sit down and make a video about it, was if you ever read the book Stargirl. And this was a book I read. The first time I read it, I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I think 4th grade, and I just read it for fun because I like reading. And then the second time I read it, I was in 8th grade because we were actually required to read it for my 8th grade literature class, which was so weird because like that is not an 8th grade level book. It is like a late elementary school, earlier middle school book, but that's besides the point. But in case you haven't read it, or you read it but forgot what it's about, it's like about this, the main character's name I think was like Leo or something, and he knew this girl, and I think eventually he had like a crush on her, and she went by the name Stargirl, and she's just like really weird and really out there, like a nonconformist, and like everyone thought she was like so weird, but she was just, you know, doing her own thing and living her life and not giving two shits about what other people thought of her, which was cool. But I was thinking back to this, and there was this one scene in that book where this Stargirl was sitting down with Leo. I'm sorry if his name wasn't Leo, but we're just gonna call him Leo because I think that's what his name, but I'm not sure. But her and Leo were like in the desert, I think. Sorry, it's been a long time. I'm 20 years old. The last time I read this book, I was 14. But, they were like sitting in the desert and just like chilling, and then like Stargirl's like laying down, she's like laying totally still, and she kind of like talks about being able to step out into the universe from doing this, like step out of her body and shit. And I don't know exactly how to describe it, and at the time I'm like, that's cool. Now looking back on it, totally like, holy fuck, that girl was astral projecting. That's what she was doing. What the hell? And that was actually the first time I was introduced to it. And then she had like Leo try to do it, and he said he tried and he could feel it for just a slight second, and it was weird and stuff. And I'm wondering, am I the only person that noticed this? That this girl, this children's book, was totally doing this astral projection thing, if I am interpreting the correct way, which I think I am. But, yeah. Am I the only person that's ever noticed this? Please tell me I'm not. I'm not crazy. This totally happened. But after I read that, even as a 4th grader and then later an 8th grader, I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. I wonder if that's real. And I didn't know if that was real or not, or they were just making it up for the book purposes. And I'm like, I'm going to try that. So I remember very specifically and distinctly going home that night after I read that chapter. I laid in my mommy's bed because my mommy had a comfortable bed. I turned off the lights, except for she had a little Christmas tree in her room with Christmas tree lights on it, so I kept those on so it wouldn't get too dark and scary. And I remember trying to lay totally still and clear my mind, because that's what Stargirl said. You have to totally clear your mind and not think about anything, or just stay very focused on your breathing or whatever, because I was determined to try it. And I tried it for a few nights in a row, and I never really had any success from it. And then I just kind of assumed, oh, it was made up for a book, it must not be real. But I wanted it to be real. I wanted it to be a real thing because that sounded so fucking cool. So, yeah. I just thought about it. So I was thinking about that last night, and I'm like, so really, the first time I tried to astral project, I was a 10-year-old, because that's the first time I read the book, when I was 10. Huh. And then a few years later when I was 14. Huh. It's interesting. So, that's the book that kind of actually really sparked my interest in sort of this out-of-body experiences, and thinking it's so cool. And, years later down the road, I grew up, I studied lucid dreaming a bit, I studied astral projection, and I realized, holy shit, this stuff is real. This actually exists, and people are actually doing it. You can actually do it. Whoa, I just wasn't doing it right a few years ago. I just wasn't doing it right. But actually, I don't know, it's just on my brain. I'm like, wow, that is really interesting that I was trying to do this shit before I even knew what the shit was. Because even from such a young age, it already captured my interest in it. But yeah, if you've ever read Stargirl, please comment and tell me if you've noticed this, or now that I've said it, looking back on it, you've noticed it, and let me know I'm not the only one that's going crazy. And yeah, until next time, bye.